There is a special little gun in the game that I have recently found on a dead PMC and was so curious as to what it was I wanted to give it a try, and after a couple raids with it, I gotta say that this thing is so fun and silly that I just wanted to highlight it. What I am talking about is an Oberez Mosin, but with the sniper variant chassis that allows you to either run the PU scope or any other ranged option in the game while keeping it suppressed, and the best part, tiny. It's such a weird gun to look at in your hands, but it still packs a punch because, well, it's a Mosin. And while it definitely doesn't make a whole lot of sense running this over just a normal Mosin, I found it interesting enough to warrant giving it a try. After all, variety is the spice of life in Tarkov, and this gun does that in spades. It's just a little monster within Tarkov. So if you enjoy the showcase of weird and obtuse weapons, be sure to subscribe for similar videos in the future. To start using it, there are a couple ways of getting your hands on it. One way would be to just find it on a scav and take it out with you. Granted, it won't be full durability, but with a repair kit, you can usually get it into the high 90s, which isn't bad, but you normally don't want to compromise on the MOA of the weapons, which for a bolt action can make or break a tough shot from distance. So going for a full durability sniper is usually the game plan. But how do you get a 100% version? You can't buy the Oberez variant. You're right, you can't, but you can barter for it. At mechanic level 2, there is a barter for the Oberez at full durability with the tri-rail attachment as well, making the barter fairly lucrative if even just for the rail, because those can be hard to come by in the early and mid-game of Tarkov. The barter is fairly simple as well, a Mosin carbine stock which can be bought from Jaeger level 1, so that's easy. A pack of Wilson cigarettes which are cheap on the flea market, usually around under 10k rubles. Again, easy. But the biggest wrinkle is the barter for the 730mm barrel for the Mosin. These things rarely show up on the flea market, and when they do, they are put up for ludicrous prices. I'm talking 6 figures at least, because people know of this barter, but there is another way to get that barrel, and it's probably kind of ass backwards to do it this way. Instead of just buying a regular Mosin variant from proper level 2, those come with the 730mm barrel already installed. So just take the barrel out and you're good to go. Again, it's so counterintuitive to do this instead of just running the damn normal Mosin, but again, we're trying to have fun here and use weird and different guns, and this fits into that category and then some. So again, anything we need to do in order to run it, even if it means ruining a perfectly serviceable gun, I'll die on that hill. But now that we have all 3 components for the barter, we can start using the Oberez at full durability. And now that you have it, the next step would be to suppress it, either by getting the Mosin suppressor or the Hybrid 46 suppressor. Either work here. Whatever is more readily available for you. And then, just the scope and you're good to go. Now, you can run the PU scope, which is perfectly serviceable, or you can keep the tri-rail mount on it and use something like a Valdez scope. My only issue with anything other than a single zoom scope is the Mosin, for some reason, has this really long delay for the toggle scope sound and the click animation when compared to other weapons. I mean, like when you toggle different variants on a scope, you know what I mean. It also shakes much more than any other weapon too, which means you might lose your target when trying to zoom in or out. But other than that, something like a 1.6x scope can be interesting with this gun. But having basically a pocket sniper is kind of fun when you think about it. Snipers are usually portrayed as these long, behemoth weapons to get maximum accuracy and distance so you can shoot targets from extreme ranges. And here with this almost toy-like gun that can still drop people from long distances, it's kind of funny. Granted, Tarkov doesn't have a ton of angles and situations where you're gonna be consistently hitting shots from over 300 meters, but the idea of landing insanely long shots from across entire maps is still prevalent and desired by people who main sniping. Usually, a bolt action has and always will be my personal favorite way to play Tarkov, at least in the late game when I have the money and the means to build kits as I see fit. Whether that's the bolt action by itself, paired with a sidearm, or even another primary, using this class of weapon brings satisfaction to landing successful shots to a level that is not comparable with other weapons. Even something like DMRs isn't as rewarding because of their fast follow-up shot potential. They're fun too, don't get me wrong, but they still don't compare to the satisfaction curve of a bolt action. No, with a bolty, you need to hit your first shot, otherwise you are immediately put on the back foot, even if they don't know where you are. It's such a bad idea to run these guns, in all honesty. You're putting yourself at a complete disadvantage when compared to full auto, single fire, shotguns, whatever it be, and the potential to get completely overwhelmed and not be able to hold your ground as a sniper is very prevalent. But they're still fun, and I will always come back to not only Tarkov, but bolt actions because they are so tough to use. They make a very strong statement when used correctly. Anyone can be successful in Tarkov with good guns, but it takes a special someone to use a bolt action and see success consistently. The Oberez Mosin is a dumb gun, but it's silly, tiny, and kind of cute. And the fact that it's easier to obtain than I initially thought means that you could realistically see anyone run around with this little guy. If this video has piqued your curiosity in any capacity, and you happen to need Tarkov shooter quests done, I would say do the barter and give this weapon a try. You'd be surprised by how effective this little thing is, which is why I have aptly named it the little monster of Tarkov, because there aren't as many weapons in the game that are this small that can be so deadly. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. Let me know your thoughts on the Oberez Mosin as well as sniping in general down in the comments, and be sure to subscribe for more highlights on guns that will never be meta that I enjoy using regardless of that fact. I hope to see you in future ones.